I know Powell and Powell will be sent up, so Yeah, I don't think I need any detours anymore here. Probably not well. Actually, I might. Oh no, never mind. I'm good.
You're smart guy, eh?
Huh?
Smart guy.
Yeah.
Okay, we're here.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't message.
Huh?
They didn't message.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah. He's one of the few people you know that besides Laura. You should save that on your phone, your password.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that you don't know it instead of asking for it. And you just hit enter. There we go.
Is that good?
Yeah.
All right, dude.
Yeah, probably save that on your phone. In your notes or something.
That'll be in Teams so that you can find it now, no problem. Done your messages in the Teams.
Oh, okay.
No worries. Hey, brother. All good, Mike?
Yeah. That's your main point. The computer will be on the left side, your will be on the right, and same get the same.
Well, this is something that I did not think we'd be talking about. Let's dive into the Montreal Canadiens and one of the better goalie stories they have had over the years. Samuel Montembeault, everybody, is a player the Canadiens initially picked up from the Florida Panthers on waivers. This happened multiple years ago, and I remember I was at the mall. We made a blog about it right there in the middle of the alleys, and I was like, yeah, you got to talk about Montembeault. He's coming over from Florida. What an interesting goalie addition that the Panthers did not ultimately want to use in the NHL. So he was picked up by Montreal. And for a while, Montembeault actually was pretty good for the Montreal Canadiens. That weird period where we started to see the end of Carey Price's career, and Jake Allen was kind of the starter there as well. David Freeman was still helping him around. Samuel Montembeault became a go-to option for Montreal. He was good enough that last year he was able to help the Canadiens in the playoffs, where he actually did all right. He had a 9.08 percentage in 3 games against the Washington Capitals, of course. He wasn't really cast as the main starter at that point, but he had 9.02 in the regular season that year, so Montembeault obviously was a pretty big piece of Montreal getting that far in the first place. But now, Sammy Montembeault has one more season left at $3.15 million a year. That's a pretty expensive bar for a guy that wasn't even really suiting up for the Canadiens at all during the playoffs. He wasn't the backup, he wasn't the starter. But that ability to make it down and to go with those two roles. While it's true, Montembeault can be seen as somebody that really didn't provide much value for the Canadiens at all this season, it seems like there is more than meets the eye. Because now, we are asking questions as to whether or not Montembeault should get moved. And there was an article posted onto The Athletic the other day by Arpon Basu talking about how the Canadiens should strongly consider bringing Montembeault back. Here's why. The Athletic is being full material, so we're not going to go out there and screen record this article, but a good link in the description if you want to read it yourself. This was posted onto the R sub, and there were a number of comments going out there and talking about why Montreal should bring back Montembeault. Take a look at this quote that was posted from the article. Montembeault said that he had a good talk when Jacob Bauer was called up. I got the example that Jeremy Swayman last year didn't have that good of a season, but came back. This year, he was against the finalist. Monataru says interesting observation about Jeremy Swayman's off year. A useful reminder that when it comes to goalies, insisting that you know what you're going to get is absolute folly. I think there is a good chance Montembeault will find his mojo again, but I don't think Montreal's the best place he's going to do it. Give him a fresh start, and I wish him the best. And while it's true, Montembeault may have been tossed that ring of hope. Hey, guess what, man? Jeremy Swayman had a bad year last year, and then this year, he was able to get right back into the Vezina conversation. If Swayman can go from what was a pretty bad 8.92 to a 9.08 in the span of 1 year, then you can too, Sebby. Although I do think that these two situations are not comparable at all. Like, Jeremy Swayman was a part of the best goalie tandem in the NHL with him and Linus Ullmark. And then, guess what? The contract dispute happened, and he ended up missing all of training camp, and everything went bad. The Boston Bruins season wasn't really all too great either. Swayman, after being tasked with being the guy, posted up at 8.92. But 1 year later, after actually getting his affairs in order and being a part of a team that was actually willing to win and actually putting in the work to be a part of a team in training camp, Swayman puts up a 908. Great. He then has a 906 save percentage in the playoffs, which unfortunately featured some pretty bad blowouts. I mean, 6-1 loss to the Buffalo Sabres in what was Game 4. That may have been the turning point here, if we're being honest. The problem with the comparison is it's entirely predictable for a goalie to struggle when they miss all of camp in the preseason. Goalies are weird doing the best I should. Doesn't get the team until like a day before the year starts. Influence significantly was the most predictable outcome. So, even though Montembeault may have been told by supposedly the Montreal Canadiens themselves, I'm not an example of the film, but I don't think it's fair to say that Montembeault is in that same boat. Now, we do have some other comments things on the same thread. Marky's unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, the support that I got from him and Jacob Fowler throughout the playoffs, it's really unbelievable. Those guys were supporting you no matter what. Unbelievable teammates, both of them, really. 3 goalies is weird, but it was the best time we ever had. All was positive, all was smiling, all was laughing, with jokes. We had a great time together. Now, we know 3 goalies may not actually be the best thing ever. Just talk to Alan Price and Greenwald about that. But yeah, they're doing it. For what he's saying, it does seem like Montembeault does provide a lot of value in regards to being a vibes guy rather than a player that actually suits up and plays. Okay, Tree said, Montembeault's crack performances cost the team the top spot in the Atlantic and maybe even the Eastern Conference, which would have given the Canadiens a much easier first-round opponent. He's a great guy, sure, but I'm much more confident giving the reins to Gilbert and Fowler, guys with the future of the club. Maybe keep Montembeault in a third, but nowhere near the starter. Your point is valid, but I'm glad we got the Roses here this year. It will pay off in the long run, and actually I'm with that like this one. Another reply goes out there and says this. People commenting, not understanding that this is about Fowler as much as it is about Samuel Montembeault. Fowler did develop his year. His season got interrupted. They did not want to call him up, but the Canadiens were forced to. If Samuel Montembeault gets moved, they still need to find a better goalie to have in the system. The season will take 84 games. Fowler and Gilbert do not have experience carrying the team for that long. They combined for 76 games played total. Montembeault is an expiring UFA that can be moved depending on which during the season period, possibly break back value instead of being a stressed asset like now. And I do think that from this perspective, or both management perspective, it is fair to talk about whether or not the Montreal Canadiens are really best set up to do that properly if they have Gilbert and Fowler by themselves. Maybe you do get a third, a guy who is more of an experienced veteran who has multiple seasons worth of NHL games played under his belt to actually serve as a tertiary option. Because Fowler and Gilbert and those rookies, right, are they ready for an 84 NHL game season? Which I would think in my brain, they're going to start trying to say that's not more 84 games. 82. Anyway, more games, eh? That's definitely why we are doing it more similar to longevity and the actual workloads these goalies have to go through. And Montembeault, as a guy that genuinely does seem to be well-liked in the movie, I do think that there is value to bringing him back. It's just, he was so bad last season and so, quite frankly, useless in terms of the actual results of the team. That the debate to free up that money, $3.15 million, 1 more a year, send it off to some other team that needs a goalie, it does seem to be a genuinely reasonable idea. Even though you have Armand Basu strongly arguing against it. So, with all that said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think the Samuel Montembeault-Jeremy Swayman comparison actually makes sense? Do you think Montembeault should be on his way out from Montreal? How do you feel about all this and the Canadiens' goaltending as a whole? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this British Irish Rolls 9. And Fine. What are you doing? Who told you it's just us? I thought you just used the Swiffer duster. Chrysanthemum Island, the beautiful side of place, has Pokemon contest. Will this stunning fun mecca provide an exhibit third grade accurately sees?
Now, check out new policy. What's the time student doing the picture of every Hey, come on, you can do those moves. Yeah, try harder. Get that stuff out of your mind and do it.
You're not thinking about it from Setback's point of view. It's you. That's your Pokemon. Try hard and only use them more stress. You don't need that, right? It's an item, Sen. Come on, that's not my style. You spell that. I'm not even going to be in this Pokemon contest. I've been in so many contests lately, my Pokemon are wild. So we came to Chrysanthemum Island for a little R&R.
Oh, no, don't think it. But if you really show you this, that you don't include it, you can just that's not what you were. I thought you were good. That's what you were once I'm sure once you get back on track. I'm so sorry. Are you okay? I'm not sure about the restaurant. Yeah, but socks. I guess we're a little over the sun. That's to be lost in the wisteria contest, and lunch socks supposed to be up for it, right? Yeah, what did you know about the wisteria? I was there. You did. You made the hospital was over, but I didn't. I thought you would be changing back. You are. You were left alone. So this wow. Oh, yeah. I remember. Very good.
Hey, what's up?
I've got a new friend. Her name's Brianna. She's a big fan. Didn't take a photo here after watching me before.
Wow, hey, thank you.
You have been Brianna and sent me that card.
You're leaving, but it's just a mistake.
There's only one person I knew who would send something like that, Mr. Bug.
Mr. Burns. Oh, Sam,
I'm sure he'd love to.
I'll do that.
Done this before, right?
You talk too much. Bye. Good luck in the contest.
You're such a good. That's it.
No wonder everyone wants a shot of the champion. There's nothing like the rival to get your son. There's a stretch visibility.
That makes the sun stop.
What a wonderful way to showcase fine goodness genius. Remarkable. One, two, wow, sun rays. Sun rays. A strong source of sunlight not only makes the solar system easy to get charged up, but that, wow, it was a good choice for an intelligent trying to have to exchange it to start like this. But I didn't work. Remarkable. It's quite a turn of events. We shall see.
Something like this might happen. It's a big
And that's about as focused as you're gonna get. It's better than that. Still Another example of showing how self-organized remarkable.
Yes, I'm so pleased with the plan. Well, yeah, I'm gonna be as soon as I learned this to do with it, I got so scared. I'm sure I learned that the fucking world. You gotta be free. You gotta be body to the power of your head. A good one to think about for sure. Oh, I see that. You ready? Looks like the way you can start to have to carry that beer around too. And that means doing is what I did to the second. Oh, all right. You're attention like you that move on to the down too. Oh, something like that. Wow, that's great. Think of the other second round. So, how's the football guys doing today?
Is it lunchtime sitting around two? I told him she was going to put in her busted instead. Hey, give me a break. Doesn't she remember that Mike likes the solar beams quicker in the sun? That's too bad. It would have given her a huge advantage. Sorry, but it looks like May got stuck again.
Or,
Why don't you tell us how you really feel?
oh, he's our second round. I'm going to prove with you. You're going to see a thing you'll never forget. You'll see. I'm finally found a chance to subdue a queen. Come on, man. You'll see. You're getting for sure the way to go. He's just a miracle, that's all. Oh, yeah? Well, I don't know what you like to do. To be honest with you, last time you didn't sit there as soon as you make this year. I was feeling love you. Don't you think you should say it for the battle? I've been wanting to see a battle between you two. And I'm going to do that. We have to spell it to lost track. This is good. You're my second round opponent, you know. All right, the time is now for round two. I'm leaving on for dinner to that. We got 5 minutes on the clock. Go!
No, what's here? Starting from your own attack. Unusual attacks you want to see them on contact back.
She may have won the battle, but we sure haven't won the war. This is the battle that is all about. With the winner walking away with the goodbye of our friend. It's not a dream.
That amazing movement by Bruno's legs knocks me out. It's good. Canada's got herself a fantastic Pokemon.
I used to get this kid.
I'm a fighter for adventure. But you guys are forgetting something else. It's not just about how much damage you cause, but also about how few you think your Pokemon attacks a deer.
You must be stressed in.
Upset. On to the side. Can't move one bit. I just sort of my head next to if there's ever a moment where it's a Pokemon, one is that moment. For sure.
Hurry! You're running out of time! Come on, Ace, speed up! Ladies and gentlemen,
So that's one time. Made a bit. Okay.
That was a close one. Yeah, good thing the bus didn't learn to use Megan.
On this great Pokemon contest. We'll see you next time. Great! Really pretty! I can see her in the city. That means a lot. Why, Robbie, looks like that Sandy's doing its job. You must be dressed in.
The thing about sand tube is it locks you inside, so you can't move one bit.
You can do it. I know you're strong enough to break free.
I sort of my head makes me drink. If there's ever a moment where you as a Pokemon are truly one, it's that moment. For sure.
Time for 30-second warning. Change down to the water. Hurry! You're running out of time! Come on, just speed it Hurry! You're running out of time! Come on, just speed it up!
Yeah, the thing about it was the medicine. Let's see that again. She opens the Gemini. That's the hell tiny pictures. They're up against the idiot. What's the choice in this company's line, even at this time? This doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. But there's article reading about it, which is why we're talking today about the Vegas Golden Knights and the Detroit Red Wings. You see, I understand that there is another part of the Vegas Golden Knights that is being talked about right now. Hey, they're playing off in the Stanley Cup Finals, game number 6 tomorrow. So nobody's talking about trade rumors or trade ideas involving their guys, except for us, apparently. Because today we're going out there to this article posted by Adam Gress on BleacherReport.com, June 11th, 2026, taking a look at 4 trade packages for Dylan Larkin amid NHL rumors. Now, this is all assuming Dylan Larkin doesn't actually get traded sometime before this video goes public on YouTube. If that happens and we talk about, hey, you can get traded for this, and then he's already traded for something else, then obviously I look like an idiot. Wouldn't be the first time. The Duncan Keith situation from Edmonton and Chicago multiple years ago still traumatizes me in my brain. But let's talk about Detroit Red Wings captain Dylan Larkin and the Vegas Golden Knights trade proposal that is put out here that involves Pavel Dorff Detroit, but has appeared in just 5 playoff games, all of which came during his rookie season 10 years ago. He's been through an extensive rebuild that is not yet concluded. Management has been slow to make bold moves to add to the roster, and they just completed another stunning second-half meltdown that kept them out of the Stanley Cup playoffs for a 10th consecutive season. It is the longest active playoff drought in the NHL. Yeah, I still can't really forgive anybody for that. I mean, what are you talking about? They were one of the best teams in the league in January. Freaking end of January, start of February, they were in that spot and then they just crumbled away. Man, the Olympics really did take a toll on this team. And Dylan Larkin especially, right? All the people saying that Larkin stopped playing hard before the Olympics because he just wanted to preserve himself for the Olympics. Anyways, while Larkin may be from Michigan and the Red Wings captain, that sort of losing will eventually get old for a player now into their 30s. He has complete no-trade protection in his contract, so even though he wants out, he still has a lot of say over where he goes. Red Wings writer Helene St. James reported that it's possible the three teams Larkin has presented to the Wings are the Golden Knights, Panthers, and Wild. All have players Larkin was a teammate with at the Winter Olympics. Yeah, okay, let's talk about Jack Eichel. Let's talk about Matthew Tkachuk. Let's talk about Quinn Hughes. Anyways, let's dive into each of these hypothetical trade packages and what they
Where's the float? The float? I was so trying the float. The jacket.
Why?
Isla said they should have an English.
Yeah, I mean,
Huh?
I mean,
Yes.
could look like. In particular, focusing on the terrible trade match that is written about here first and foremost. Red Sox said Vegas is a terrible match for the Detroit Red Wings into the bargain trade talk. It is not hard to see why Vegas might be on bargain's list. He knows only losing the NHL, and Vegas has known only winning from the moment they arrived. They are playing their third Stanley final this season and are consistently one of the top contenders in the West. They also love finding utilities and big names, and they would probably be interested in Larkin, whether he is interested in them or not. The problem for the Red Wings, though, is that Vegas might be the absolute worst potential trade partner in the league. They also might not have much of a need for Larkin, leaving the center depth of Jack Eichel, Tomas Herman, and William Karlsson. Vegas' drafting capital is also non-existent. The Golden Knights have one of the worst farm systems in hockey. There aren't really any obvious skill players on the NHL roster who would increase the Red Wings in terms of what they want. Red Wings fans especially the front going. But in time we'll see at center, as West center as well. Is there a need for Dylan Larkin? Probably not. But you could also make the debate that says, if the Vegas Golden Knights find themselves able to win another Stanley Cup this year, which they kind of have our typical projection towards doing so. They're down 3-2 in the finals after all. But if they do, I would honestly be a little bit expecting of, let's say, a Mark Stone trade, for example. A guy who was already 34, making a decent amount of money, and was the captain of the team. We understand that it's not great for Cincinnati team. It is willing to trade their captain away, but they're the same thing to do. This is a team that backstabs, moves on, and just totally disregards players like that little girl in the toy store that is dropping. Was it Woody or Jesse? It's Jesse, right? Once she gets that brand new toy, it's like, oh, I don't want to play with you anymore. Mark Stone could do that too. If the Vegas Golden Knights win another Stanley Cup, they get 2 cups under Mark Stone's captaincy. At that point, they could very easily say, all right, well, we did good business, now let's get rid of you because we can use the compensation for other players. Like Larkin, for example. And speaking of which, the center conversation has been a pretty interesting debate in Vegas. Bonner was center because apparently he was doing pretty well there in the second half of the year. But if you could have Bonner as a natural right wing for next season, have Dylan Larkin as a center instead, with William Thompson as a third C and another course a second line player, maybe that makes more sense instead. Who knows? The quick return that is talked about here in this article is none other than RFA Pavel Dorofeyev. He would be an obvious target beyond the rights, but his Vegas Golden trade is best all-the-way player and best young player. It might be their only option. Just given the lack of other sensible trade options here, I'm going to say the most money Vegas gets Larkin is if they are willing to part with Pavel Dorofeyev. A one-for-one trade. This also does not really seem likely. This is a major reason Vegas seems the least likely to landing spot, assuming that those Knights are on Larkin's list of the 3 teams. The only way Vegas might make it work is if the Golden Knights can rent to team in a third team involved to help send some young assets or draft picks to each. Now I'm going to say this right here. If Pavel Dorofeyev is going over to Detroit, I'd say that's a pretty good guess. Dorofeyev is 25 years old, drafted in the 3rd round of the 2019 NHL entry draft, and this guy was a draft steal the moment he was taken. He was still good in the junior league, scoring goals like crazy for like Buffalo's junior affiliate. And then, as his career continued to rise up, he inevitably was able to find himself on board with the Henderson Silver Knights. He broke out there as a 21-year-old, and then he ended up putting 30-goal NHL seasons out of nowhere. Like, he went from 13 goals in 47 games to 35 in 82 games to 37 in 82 games, with more assists every single year as well. Dorofeyev is a certified stud, and he got 12 goals, 21 games in the playoffs this year for Vegas. It's in, like, how these guys are making all the goals for the Golden Knights, and then Mitch Marner is getting the occasional, goal once in a while, too. I mean, he got 10. He's doing very well himself, that Mitch Marner. But Pavel Dorofeyev is a winner of the future. He's got a shoot-first mentality. He's able to fire it from anywhere. He's able to score from anywhere. The problem is, though, if Detroit's trying to make a trade package work with Vegas for Dylan Larkin, I don't think the Vegas Golden Knights have anything much to offer other than Dorofeyev. I mean, what prospects do the Golden Knights have? What picks do they have? How would those assets help out the Detroit Red Wings win now or win the future? Dorofeyev at least would help out the team on wins, and you would still need to get somebody else to replace Larkin down the middle because, as we mentioned, you can't have JT Compher as the number 1 center. That's just not feasible. And so, when Pavel Dorofeyev enters the mix, I do like that a lot, but depth down the middle is going to be very important for Detroit, whether or not that actually fits, I am not sure. Dorofeyev also signed RFA also should target material at this point in his career. He's going to sign a contract quick. And it's got to be with a team that has him, because once those offer sheets start coming in, there's going to be a lot of money being tossed towards this guy. He's very good.
Sometimes ball battles are better about than that. Okay.
That start shelling out huge contracts for this dude. But the Detroit Red Wings, hey, if they wanted to get first dibs on it, they could make it work. Either that or they just wait for him to enter that RFA eligibility period. They try to offer shit him themselves. That would also be pretty cool as well. But either way, This is one of the 4 trade packages that is talked about on Bleacher Report. Pavel Dorofeyev for Larkin 1-for-1. Go ahead and your thoughts in the comments section. Does this make sense? If you're Detroit, would you much rather just wait and try to offer shoot Dorofeyev without the need for a Larkin trade? Is that really going to work? Would you rather have Dorofeyev on your team over Dylan Larkin? Or would you be willing to sacrifice the trade package that is Larkin and guarantee yourself the negotiating opportunity to get Dorofeyev onto your team first? So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this Fish Ash Hole Story 9 and 5.
I should try and trade for the Predators, but
You'll have to get rid of it. It's out there. Go away. And what you doing? Playing your faith online. All your name. Your brand. Your break. Right.
The bullshit you had to do to get where we are now. But for this list, I think we put it in the high 8 here. Okay, cool. It's 7. No, it's not. I'm just going to drop the verdict. Verdict is for 7. This fucking guy. This is exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. The big damn list, man. If you two just shake hands and make peace, no fucking way, Joe. God, yeah, get fucking ready.
Look at that. Oh, good Lord. What could Joe want?
Hey, George, I'm glad you answered. Joe, I'm not going to lie. I had a bit of a long day. What do you need? Sorry, man, I don't need to bug you, but I was curious to know if you'd be interested in doing something with me and the boys.
Yeah, what is it?
To make a long story short, Donald Barack and I decided to make a list on Nintendo systems. We ended up on the Wii.
Okay.
There was a bit of a back and forth between them, which I just didn't understand, because personally I control the S2.
Joe, is any of this pertinent information?
Kind of just barely keeping stuff.
Joe, I'm sorry. I really don't feel like listening to one of your stories.
Wait, George, hold on. See, you're fucking bailing this, Joe. Relax, Donald. I got this. Really just knocking it out of the park is just getting serious discussion. Just let it fucking talk.
Rob, what the hell is this?
Basically, as Joe stated, Donald and I are
Well, they're both pretty damn good. I don't know what there is to talk about.
Yep. See? That's what everyone keeps saying, Donald. Because you're not even trying to paint a good picture to give us something to think about. I don't need to paint a fucking picture, Donald. You think you don't understand that after the fucking hour we spent? Oh, an hour? A literal hour. All we just brought everything to
That's, I mean, it's silly. But I just kind of understand the frustration. So I like to completely be aesthetic.
because it has no features, better body capability, and more iconic games.
Obfuscation, sure. But opinions on games are surely subjective. Even if they're bad, if you spend your time playing a game on stage, just before the years of years, your life is uncherished on some level because you build nostalgia. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Donald, what did you say to this group?
I said that the GameCube has better graphics, a superior controller, the originator of some true classics, and then I also mentioned the Parasonic Q, which lets you play DVD.
Why would you bring up the Parasonic 2? That was only the thing.
Well, because I have
Something I personally think that's badass about the Game 2 was the adapter that supposed to play Game Boy. Even though the games were controlled with pads and sit on a small pad, there's still really cool considering backwards compatibility. You didn't even have to go out, right? Are you fucking serious, John?
I don't know how I forgot about that.
You claim to be an advocate for the game, you just can't even understand that. How embarrassing.
Look, man, the reason I wanted the voice to call you was because I felt it would help me make the case for why Barack should put the GameCube in S tier.
Oh, I understand. But fellas, you're going to have to forgive me because I've had an active day today and don't really feel like having a debate, especially over something so trivial.
What the fuck ever, George? Joe, who's the next person on your friends list?
Mitch McConnell.
For the love of God, Donald, that is where I'm drawing the fucking line. I'm not stopping until we find a resolution, even if it's a 5-minute discussion.
Donald, I really wish you could drop it. Wait, guys, hold on a second. You know I'm not much longer to say that guy is nothing but awfully conversation. So what makes this scary is that they can put it in the damn home. So how about an awkward idea? Exactly something Bill
I'm listening.
Each time we had a disagreement on something, so we needed to make a decision. Bill and I resettled with a friendly game in the past, so seriously, yep. Now we're helping us find a peaceful resolution. I don't understand that.
Well, I mean, that does sound like it would be a fun idea. Yeah, to the guy who apparently invested over 200 plus hours in the game. Is that fear, I said, Mary? Worried about losing to me again like you did at Mario?
Motherfucker.
Sorry, I didn't put it off my rocker.
Okay, you know what? Sure. I'll go get my fucking controller.
Yeah, you go do that.
How often does this kind of thing happen to me, guys?
A few times every couple of weeks, but it's fine. We're home.
If you say so.
So, George, is there a particular group set that you and Bill follow? Or is it just best of whatever?
Well, actually, what we do is sort of like squad stuff. Bill and I take 5 characters to use for the challenge. And we just play until one of us gets a total of 5 matches.
Dude, that's actually kind of interesting.
Donald, why don't you and Rocky better stuff? Okay, so this is what you guys are going to do. I have to get time here, and I have to might actually come to watch.
Nice. You can help me with the commentary. Well, then I hope the both of you are ready. Because today, We're all going to be witnessing another obliteration. I hope you're ready for me to grab your gift on. Yeah, let's see if that is action. It's one of my go-tos in the other games, but it's ultimate as a person. That makes sense because in ultimate, all has to rely more on his sweet spot, which is at the tip of his foot. Oh, definitely. Yeah, that's why people don't bother with person. Well, that's not entirely true. If you're good at spacing and put up a decent line down, the only trade-off is that it just requires more work to keep drive.
Well, this actually might work in my favor. If I get the last overall pick, and I'm devastated to pot.
Look, how did you hear that? I just had a feeling you should have got a good combo with it. Uh-oh, that's fast. Not if I can help you. Fuck, you didn't jump. Of course not, stupid. I was going to tap. Well, I have a good style. Yeah, whatever. Don't stop. Wow, that was some of the worst try I've ever seen. You got me by surprise. It was light and hard. Oh, wow, good test. Thanks. Lord, I feel like this is fight. I have to mix it out. Really? That's fucking great. Okay, I got it. I'm gonna get you, Ron. A little closer. Oh, I almost got to that voice. Yeah, do that. Back there. Get the fuck out of my regular line. We don't fucking food, Donald. But you're mistaken. This is my fucking arena. Damn. Man, this is actually very good game. I don't know who you think. They're both countries. So I think Donald is aggressive. Fighting. Okay. Never mind. Are you fucking kidding me? Damn, like that. Bitch, quick, rapid boom. Okay, so Ross takes the first time. The only one that matches is the gift, Ross. Yep, but perhaps outskilled. Already getting time. I'm gonna lie, first. I'm fine. Yeah, it's kind of fun. So do they both now rotate characters, or is it Donald because you lost? For this game, both players switch characters after each match. Okay, then I'm going Wolf. What about you? I think I'll go Mario. If this one. How do you feel about this matchup? And July and so you talked about selfish and five seven characters. You talked about Wolf? No, I'm talking about Mario and Mario. Nobody needs to run the But anyway, I think Wolf and Mario are actually going to do that. Oh, shit. Excellent pick. I'll be pushing straight to stop. Oh, damn it, pick the box. Okay, I'll admit you got me off guard there. But you know what? Boom! Headphones! All right, Donald. That was for the people of America, Barry. Once again, things seem very even. I'd say this match is definitely looking more violent. I feel like it's because they're playing on a smaller stage. That's actually true. I didn't think about that. Battlefield was much wider. This gave us more opportunities to have space. I actually prefer the smaller area. It's a lot more exciting. Yeah, I understand this. You're actually having the stage. I don't really do it. The fact that this is high, it's doing that type of combo. Fine, I got plenty more moves to do. And how many of them will actually do that? Oh, John, how are you going to leave it that? This is like our founding fathers, Joe. I'll find a way. Well, let's do it. Yeah. Is it okay, man?
It was, but what do they have with assets that I can use right now? Like for rookies.
I do like this. Wow. You got feet while wearing the flag. Yeah, thanks, Stuart. Wow. I can also notice it's 0. What can I say, Barry? Maybe you look like you have That's too bad for the game, too. What do you mean? Well, it's not easy to school the blind, right? I wouldn't exactly say and that's what matters, right? God might have break the jaw, right? Because it's not about taking stops anymore, it's about taking lives. And I've done that plenty of times with Ike in the past. So get ready to be clean, right? I hope you're not going to embarrass me sometimes. The Falcon has always been one of my names. Yeah, well, Ike has always been one of my go-tos as well. This flame represents the fire, strength, and passion of the Republican Party. Oh, you see the blue flame? Oh, very funny. Fucker, don't help me more. What are we to see? This is what I'm talking about. I just with a slow, heavy hit. You may have had a pretty good minutes of thinking, but the minute involved with plenty of characters got better, I even got worse. To find the office and why your ass kicking still happens. There we go. Watch, this game's about to turn around. That's how you do a proper strike down. It's not to try hard. What the hell was that? No, it was a very good swing. Oh my God. That was the saddest shit I've ever seen. How the hell is this blocking so bad? To the doctor said, you play with it 1 hour of this game. That's just an hour of thing. What sorry, I can do? Okay, listen. Danny's going to help you with your closet. If you have to do something with your clothes or something for a few minutes. Oh, you already did it? Go ahead, show him. Show him. If it's up, that's cool. Okay? That's perfect. Your damn straight off and take a care. I would never expect a dollar to have an SPC in his pocket on the bill. That's the regular stuff. But doesn't mean fight against her. That SPC to fight against you. For 20 years, I didn't know how much was there. The only thing I was somebody stupid about to go. Come on, why are you back doing something else? What do you mean? You got going, I just sit there like you try to hold the without nothing to do with it. Serious, the office that talked to him was last hour. So Ryan between this and then Parsons I could imagine. And then Donald phoned Vivek on the phone. The city spent an additional 15 minutes scouting out the top 10 games on an IPL. Jesus, Mary Joseph Donald. He was just trying to make a point that just because he worked Metroid Farm games to the league doesn't just validate the fact that the game is the system of the platform can stand on. It wasn't just it's the say that about the fucking game, dude? What am I supposed to get? Well, what's the problem with that? This dude Crockett said this team is with holes in his own. I beg your fucking pardon. No, look at how easy it is. Are you imitating me? Oh, no, Barack, of course not. If I wanted to do that, I'd have to find out how to hack shit out of my mouth whenever I speak. Well, you already do that, you son of a bitch. That deflects? I'll admit I didn't know that. But we take those. There you go. It's there. God, that would be sick. One more shot. I swear to God. Wait. Oh, fuck that recovery. Oh, we take those all fucking day. Enjoy your single win, God, because you can get another. Hey, stop it. No, God, I don't know what I'm doing this back. I can't rock about like super aggressive. Well, you haven't seen my Donkey Kong, Joe. I couldn't tell you how many people I've styled under. Ooh! Who's styling who now? All right, Barack. Donkey Kong may have some decent moves and a few flashy combos, but in comparison to Bowser, it's truthfully not that good. So Bowser ain't that good of a character.
Wow, nobody wants Smith Rudy.
On top of being the heaviest character, he also has great speed and the singular parts and other parts of the sound. Yeah, but he's also the biggest spot. Yeah, he's got 100 films. Probably 175 kills. Really? Right, right. While his mobility is a bit lacking, to say the least, he does have revenge, which is arguably one of the best comebacks mechanics. I also find his side